I just wanted to do it. I wanted to just have these wild sexual experiences that I had written about and read about and fantasized about.
I mean, what can we expect from the second season? Do you kind of, push, like you say, push the boundaries a little bit?
Yeah, I pushed the boundaries both sexually and acting wise, because I had a 3-page monologue at the beginning all about, people in history. Well, it was call it the I hate Jesus monologue, but it's really about, I hate how being oppressed and colonialism and people like throughout history using, virtue and virginness, I guess, virginity and stuff is some virtuous thing, and being totally oppressed because of who they wanted to be sexually or, who they were. And so it was an amazing monologue. And 3 full pages long. And then I went right into like a foursome group sex scene. And then, I also did my first gangbang in it too. So, but it really, I loved how the sex though was representative of what my character was going through in her life and her psyche. And she had a lot of things thrown at her in this one. She's a professor of sex psychology, and like in the first season we said, the question was, can pornography be art? And we went throughout history and showed how art and pornography have evolved from cave paintings and statues and, all sorts of things. But this season, one of her students comes against her and accuses her of sexual assault in the way that she made him do sexual assignments in class. But really, he's just obsessed with her and he doesn't get what he wants out of it. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's really twisted. So she didn't do anything wrong, but people have come against her. So that was really challenging to play, because I played her, like last year, she was very strong. And she was introspective and stuff, but this year I was just I had so many different emotions and stuff. And it really came from that first monologue where I said, are we allowed to be angry? Because God says, or the colonial machine says, you can't be angry because docility is a virtue. But I was angry, and I really worked through that, and I think it took it to a really cool place at the end with the gangbang. Yeah.
The scenes like that, like get you nervous, or even going back to like your first time that ever doing something like this, what was that experience like for you? Obviously, I'm sure, being a porn star, you have to have a lot of body confidence, but it's got to be a little intimidating at times too, I would imagine. I talk more about this in my book. So, sure. But I'll touch on it about, I didn't have great body confidence coming in. I have evolved to have it over time because of this, and because of this journey that I've been on. So it's an interesting thing, because the first time I ever did it was in, for my own, I didn't start, my first sex scene was not in porn. It was actually, I started doing content sales. Like I started a Patreon account and then OnlyFans. And then I started, I did some girl scenes, and then I did my first boy-girl scene, because I just wanted to do it. I wanted to just have these wild sexual experiences that I had written about and read about and fantasized about. But at the end of it, my partner, he was like, you weren't nervous. And I don't know why. When you're in the moment, I don't know if it's just that you're a performer at heart, but I'm not nervous in the moment. I'm actually less nervous about that than getting all my lines down. Right, yeah.
Seriously, I'm way more stressed about that, going around having, I had like 750 lines in this thing, so.
Yeah, I would imagine, because, obviously you hear actors talk about filming sex scenes and things like that, and it's probably not as sexy as it appears on screen, because you're gotta do camera angles and things like that. So I would imagine it's, not as sexy as it is.
Although I have to say, it is, you have to make sure you open up for the camera. But you have to worry about camera angles and stuff. Although I say in porn, we do try to go pretty much all the way through to make it, real. And it's hard on the guys if they don't do that.
keep starting and stopping. But yeah, like my gangbang, we went almost all the way through, and then we'll like take a little break if everybody gets a little overheated, and overheated too, just by like the whole physical aspect of it.
Sure.
One thing that surprised me going into it is how aerobic and physical, like you have to be very healthy physically and to do this, because it's an acrobatic kind of workout. It's like definitely an aerobic kind of thing.
Yeah, I would imagine.